thoughts on Senate Bill 5 briefly, and then because there's a second part that might be more helpful.
No problem. I'm not talking to one.
If you could set up a collective bargaining process, what would that look like?
The Senate Bill 5 is, in my view, it's a union-busting piece of legislation, period. It has nothing to do with trying to help us save money or help the state save money. This is designed pure and simple to bust the unions. Keep in mind that laws were changed by a Supreme Court ruling at the federal level on a government standpoint that allows companies to contribute to political campaigns. Most of these companies, in fact, many of these companies are owned by people that don't live in the country, not even Americans, but they have the ability now to influence political campaigns. That's a big problem. But when you look at the political spectrum and the battles that we face, the general divide on this between Republicans and Democrats, when it comes to business, the Democrats are typically fighting for the working class, the unions, the workers. Republicans are typically fighting for the business owners. And their theory is, hey, if you give the business owners more tax breaks, they'll create more jobs. And the Democrats say, hey, you know, pay the workers a fair wage, let's have a middle class. We're fighting to protect the middle class. Some are fighting for the rich and the poor, some are fighting for the middle. And so what you've got is this natural battle. Well, the Supreme Court, who now is controlled by Republican Supreme Court members, changed the law of the land by making a decision that says corporations can now contribute to campaigns. Well, most corporate leaders, not all of them, but most of them support Republican leadership. And so you have this huge influx of money on the Republican side of this balancing act. The biggest contributors on the Democrat side are the unions, and they give millions and millions of dollars to political campaigns. But what the union money is the union money is all of us. We're in a union, we each put $10 up there, and together we can put a $100 check on the table. Where the corporation can throw a $100 check on the table and match it very easily. So this is kind of like the balancing act. Well, what they're doing is they're trying to destroy the unions, because the unions are going to be the main funding streams, funding support for the Democrat side of the balancing act. And they got this huge windfall by letting corporates contribute, and now they're trying to eliminate the ability for unions to exist and contribute. This bill, Senate Bill 5, it does a couple of things. I'll give you an example with my fire department. My fire department has about 160 people. Let's say it's 150. If a third of those people are captains, a third of them are going to be supervisors, you've got 50 captains and 100 the regular time. So that's 1/3. Well, this bill, the first thing it says is anybody with a captain's title, a lieutenant's title, sergeant title, these types of unions are no longer allowed to be in a union. So immediately they eliminate 1/3 of the membership. Okay, now what does that do for the good of the city or the state or not? It has nothing to do with that. But it's basically weakening the union. The second thing they did is they said, okay, in addition to that, the way the union dues are collected, the city collects union dues and distributes back to the union. That's a payroll deduction, just like you're paying taxes, what have you. They're now coming out and saying, yeah, the city's not allowed to do that anymore. So now we're going to pay everybody, and now the union rep has to go to everybody individually and say, oh, by the way, you owe me $50 this month, I need my money. Well, if it's a payroll deduction, it's a simple process, and it assures them that if you work for the city, you're in the union. Well, now they're telling everybody, you know what, if you work for the city and it's a union shop, you don't necessarily have to be in the union. So only those members who want to pay. Well, now out of those 100 people, you've got maybe 25 or 30 people that have the most seniority that are going to say, you know what, by seniority, I'm not going to lose my job unless everybody else is gone, so I'm not going to pay anymore. And you got the new guys that say, hey, listen, hey, if we have to lay off, I'm the bottom of the list. I'm going whether I pay my dues or not. I'm the first one gone, so I'm not going to pay anymore. And so what you have is you've got a system that naturally is going to weed out a number of their memberships and make them more different. Essentially what they're doing is they're trying to bust the unions.